JLD here, and welcome to MSTR today. In this show, we're going to talk about how Michael Saylor is claiming that big things are coming, and that is big with a capital Bitcoin B. We're going to talk about how strategy is like monopoly, how the Bitcoin bill is back and what that means. ETFs are launching right now with a minimum requirement of 1,000 Bitcoin in your Bitcoin treasury, what that means for strategy. I also have one epic Jeff Bezos clip. You're going to want to watch this. And then two Michael Saylor video clips. Epic stuff coming. This video is not financial advice, but please do comment below. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're thinking. Just comment for support. Your comments mean the world. So thank you. And let's dive on in. All right, today's first post is from Michael Saylor himself, and he wants us to know that big things are coming, and that is big with a capital Bitcoin B. And look at this, already 3.2 million views. Let me give that a heart for sure. Michael Saylor, you are driving this ship. I am excited to be on board, so thank you for what you're doing. I am so fired up for the future. He also wants us to know that we purchased 78% of the United States for $40 million. America should buy Bitcoin. And again, these are historic precedents for the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, which was Manhattan, 60 guilders. Now the payoff is 2.1 trillion. Louisiana, back in 1803, 15 million for a $12 trillion payoff. California, $8 trillion payoff, not a bad deal for 18 million. And Alaska, so far a 1 trillion payoff, is probably only going to go up from there. So pretty good precedents on this. And this is why Michael Saylor believes America should buy Bitcoin. Chris wants us to know that strategy is a monopoly on Bitcoin. Smaller companies cannot scale the Bitcoin strategy at the same rate strategy can. Larger companies cannot offer pure play Bitcoin exposure in the same way strategy can. Strategy has already positioned itself as the dominant Bitcoin treasury company. And you, my friends, are investors in MSTR. So congratulations. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for all of us because strategy is a monopoly. Let's go. Oh, I love it. Bitcoin Archive. Now, Senator Lummis to reintroduce the Bitcoin Act for the United States government to buy 1 million Bitcoin. At today's prices, that would be a massive 81 billion bid. And then there you have Cynthia Lummis. And obviously, having the support of the President of the United States, Cynthia's pretty fired up to get this Bitcoin Act rolling. So this will be very exciting if she can get more traction, which she's got all the support she needs. So let's get going. Bitcoin Archive wants us to know that Michael Saylor has a little quote on the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. By embracing Bitcoin, America positions itself to dominate the 21st century financially. Traditional financial doctrines, much like old military strategies, may have once been valid but no longer apply today. The rules that defined the past century are becoming obsolete. The game has fundamentally changed. True words, Michael Saylor, fundamentally changed. I wanted to post this from Adrian because it's just good to see. I mean, look at this is the past 5 years. 1,700 and almost 64% increase in the past 5 years. This is what it's looked like, 5-year chart. So have we had a little drawdown? Absolutely. But listen, as Adrian wants us to know, maintain perspective and, of course, not financial advice. Adrian also shares that this is great. Bitwise Invest has launched an ETF that will hold companies with at least 1,000 Bitcoin. This new offering might incentivize companies with Bitcoin treasuries to become more aggressive with their Bitcoin strategies to meet this benchmark for inclusion and market exposure. And then this is Bitwise announcing that 70 companies have adopted MSTR's playbook for holding Bitcoin. So I love they called out MSTR there. And the ETF is called OWN B. Very clever, very, very clever. And then I wanted to share with you exactly what the top list looks like for weights, because they're going to obviously give the percentage of income flows, of financial inflows by the amount of Bitcoin that you have. Shocker, who's at the top? Strategy with almost 21%. And by the way, strategy would be like 90-something% if this was properly weighted, but they had to, of course, make it a little more flexed across the entire 70 holdings. So Mara is number 2 with 12, CleanSpark with 6, Riot with 6. So Strategy is going to get 21%. So they're going to get 21 cents of every dollar that comes in. To me, incredible. Next, I'm going to talk about Adam, who shares that the strategic Bitcoin reserve is a return to manifest destiny, not across land, but across time. In the 19th century, America expanded westward, claiming physical territory. In the 21st, it expands forward, claiming temporal sovereignty through Bitcoin. And MSTR is pioneering a new monetary frontier, an asymmetric bet on the future's value over present decay. History rewards those who settle the frontier first. Strategy will dominate because it already has. Strategy, Michael Saylor, you and myself as MSTR shareholders, we have settled the frontier first. And here we are. Now I have 3 epic video clips, 2 from Michael Saylor and 1 from Jeff Bezos that you don't want to miss. But first, we're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsor. So check it out. I know we're all looking to stack more Bitcoin and MSTR, and to do that, we need more fiat. So let's chat about our sponsor, ShipStation. We all know the market can seem pretty chaotic at times, but if you're in charge of order fulfillment for your business, you already understand chaos. While we might not be able to help calm the chaos in the market, ShipStation is here to help when it comes to shipping and fulfillment. I've used ShipStation to easily automate shipping to customers around the globe. My favorite part about the platform, managing orders in one simple dashboard makes an otherwise massive task feel pretty darn simple. Plus, ShipStation not only integrates with the services and selling channels you already use, it's also the fastest, most affordable way to ship products to your customers. ShipStation hooks you up with discounts up to 88% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates, and up to 90% off FedEx rates. Calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/MSTR to sign up for your free trial, or click the pinned comment below this video. That's shipstation.com/MSTR. And thank you for supporting our sponsors that allow myself and my team to continue to produce these daily videos for you for free. Now back to the show.
Because the stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal business metrics, number of customers, profit per unit, everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way. And we didn't need to go back to the capital markets. We didn't need more money. The only reason, a financial bust like the internet bubble bursting is, makes it really hard to raise money. But, we already had the money we needed. So we just needed to continue to progress.
The conventional view of capital is I pour all of my cash flows into buying my own stock back. And that's what Meta's doing right now. And that's what Apple's doing right now. And other companies do some of that. The unconventional view is I take my cash flows and I buy Bitcoin. So if the world goes completely rational, digital, then we will demonetize equities faster. And if the world stays very conventional, we will continue to monetize equities and real estate to a greater degree, and sovereign debt and bonds. Right? I think sovereign debt, real estate, and equity are conventional capital assets for corporations and big institutions and the like. And Bitcoin is the 21st century novel capital asset. The word strategic Bitcoin reserve to the casual observer they sound like a stockpile of an asset. To a closer observer, it sounds like a stockpile of the most valuable asset the human race has ever invented. But I'm here today to show you how the strategic Bitcoin reserve represents a strategy for United States digital supremacy in the 21st century. The president, with his vision, has established a strategic Bitcoin reserve as of last week, and has declared that America will be the Bitcoin superpower. That is prescient. I would hazard to guess that the great majority of the people that saw that post don't even know what Bitcoin superpower means, and they haven't really considered it. I was inspired by the words, And that caused me to put together this presentation today. Why is Bitcoin critical to the prosperity of the United States in the 21st century? That is the question we all should be asking. There are many metaphors for thinking about a strategic reserve of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital capital. If we thought of it as Bitcoin as digital capital, is this a stockpile of cheese? Is this a stockpile of oil, natural gas, or even uranium, all of which would be interesting? Well, at its worst case, in its narrowest form, you could think about the strategic Bitcoin reserve as a stockpile of the apex asset of the human race. And so what's it worth? Well, over the next 20 years, I think it's worth anywhere from $3 trillion to $106 trillion to the United States. U.S. corporations, like my corporation, are actually recapitalizing on Bitcoin. We've gone from having $250 million of assets 48 months ago to having nearly $45 billion of assets in 48 months. If you look out over the next 20 years, corporations that are accumulating Bitcoin on their reserve, like MSTR, like Mara, like Riot, they're going to have 20 to 40 trillion dollars. So this is a small metaphor, but it's a powerful metaphor. But, you know, it's hard to rent out or finance or develop your cheese or your gold or your natural gas buried in a vault. So a more powerful metaphor is Bitcoin is digital property. If you own 5% of Manhattan and your family had owned it for 100 years and someone said, how are you going to pay your bills? You wouldn't say, we're just going to sell it. You would say, we're going to rent it. We're going to develop it. We're going to put a building on top of it, a business on top of it, or we're going to finance it. We're going to borrow against it. The same is true with Bitcoin. In 20 years, the United States could be generating $10 trillion per year by renting, developing, or financing the assets in that strategic Bitcoin reserve. The AIs are coming. The AIs don't get bank accounts. They don't get credit cards. The AIs, the artificial intelligence economy, will be built on digital capital, digital property. It'll be a $100 trillion economy. It'll be built on Bitcoin.
And there you have it, another episode of MSTR today. I truly hope you enjoyed. And as always, I'm showing you my receipt from my purchase of MSTR yesterday. I was able to snag some at $245. That gave me a 0.857 share of MSTR for just over $210. So continuing to stack. And this Sunday, I'll give you my updated portfolio in full. Please remember, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Thank you for spending 10, 15 minutes with me today. I'm honored. Make sure to not surround yourself with people who are just filling you with fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But if you're a believer in the long-term play, just surround yourself with the people that have that belief, because it's going to be a much more enjoyable journey. And like Michael Saylor loves to say, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.